Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to round out the quartet of Galaxy's Edge Black Series reviews and we're going to take a look at a trooper that I am really excited to get my hands on. This is the First Order Mountain Trooper, and without a doubt this is one of my favourite trooper designs to be released in quite some time. Not since the Shore Troopers, the Death Troopers from Rogue One, and some of the Sith and Jet Troopers from The Rise of Skywalker have I been so excited for a trooper design. I absolutely love this figure. I think the character design is fantastic and I can't wait to share it with you in more detail in just a moment. Before we do that, as always, there is a link down below in the video description if you want to purchase this figure for yourself. At the time of filming this review, he is in stock now and available to buy at staractionfigures.co.uk. And once again, like with most of these figures from Galaxy's Edge, I highly recommend you add them to your collection. So before we take a look at the figure, let's grab a look at the packaging that he comes in. As you can see, once again, we do get standard Black Series packaging with this guy, with the usual illustrations there on the front of the box, which look really nice. You've also got that Galaxy's Edge call out on the front of the box. Down the side, got those Galaxy's Edge graphics once again, looking very sharp. And on the back, another image of the Mountain Trooper, accompanied by a brief description of the character. So there we go, that is the packaging that this guy comes in. Now let's take a look at the Trooper himself, and once again, this is a great addition to the First Order ranks. What I really love about this figure is the fact that there's just so much going on, and I'm getting so many different vibes from this figure. I know that he's a First Order Trooper, but I can't help but think that somewhere in the past, this figure is based on concept art for an Imperial Trooper. He's definitely got more of an Empire-esque vibe about him. Some of the elements of the figure, some of the designs are definitely First Order in their appearance, but overall he just looks more at home, in my opinion at least, with the Empire. But as I mentioned, there are aspects of the character design that are reminiscent of the First Order, but just getting so many different trooper vibes from this guy. He is almost a hybrid of multiple different designs. He's definitely got a Shore Trooper appearance to him. There's a bit of a biker scout thrown in there somewhere, a First Order TIE fighter pilot. I'd even go as far as to say that there's a little hint of an Evo Trooper in there from The Force Unleashed. He's just got such an eclectic look to him. It's almost as though this figure and this character just combine multiple different trooper designs from across the Star Wars universe and throw them all into one figure. And again, that's what I absolutely love about this guy. He looks fantastic. Now we'll touch base on the articulation, then we'll talk about the accessories and some of the finer details of the figure. He does feature a ball joint and a hinge at the neck, so not only can he look up and down, but he can look all around as well. Got a really nice range of movement going on there. We have hinges at the shoulders, slightly restricted by the shoulder armour, but again, nothing too major. You can still get this guy in some decent poses. We do have hinges at the elbows. One thing to point out is to be careful with those elbow joints. When I removed this figure from the package, I was almost scared of breaking the elbow because the joint was so tight. So just be careful with that if you get your hands on this guy. He does have hinges at the wrist, although the forearm armour does seem to get in the way of those hinges. This side really doesn't want to bend much further than that, and the same can be said with the opposite hand. It just doesn't move and doesn't have as much give as previous ball hinged wrist. But as I mentioned, you can still get this guy to hold his weapon with both hands and all that sort of stuff, so he does the job well in terms of what you're going to want him to do on your display shelf. He features a ball joint at the torso, more of a swivel though, not a whole range of movement going on there. The chest armour is quite bulky. He also features hinges at the hips, swivels at the upper thigh, double joints in the knees and hinges and rockers at the ankles. So reasonable articulation. Some of it feels a little bit stiff, a little bit tight, and like there's some posability hindered somewhat, but overall it's pretty good, and in my opinion the overall aesthetic of the figure far outweighs the articulation and posability. I just think this figure looks phenomenal. I really dig it. Now in terms of accessories, as I mentioned, he does come with a blaster rifle. Going back to what I said at the beginning of the review, the weapon itself is also very imperial in its design. There's elements there of an E11 blaster rifle, what with the scope on the top and this section of the blaster there. You've also got the flashlight on there, reminiscent of the troopers from The Mandalorian and Rogue One. You've got a barrel, which definitely looks like it's been recycled from a World War II machine gun, similar to how a lot of the weapons were in the original trilogy. And again, it just doesn't scream First Order to me. This definitely has more of an Imperial era look to it, which just gives the overall figure a much more Imperial vibe. That's not to say he doesn't look awesome. The rest of the figure is really nicely sculpted. You've got this nice gloss finish to the armour. He's not a brilliant white, he is slightly off-white. Not so much a creamy colour, but definitely a more grey tone to the armour overall. You've got some great battle damage painted on there. Some scuffs, stings and dents all over the armour, which looks fantastic. As I mentioned, you've got this very biker scout look going on towards the boots and the knee pads there. Got pouches on the side of the figure. Some more battle damage around the back. A red shoulder pad, which I imagine denotes rank of some sort. And again, just a fantastic looking helmet sculpt. Really nice overall. Just can't get over how cool this figure looks. I haven't army built for quite some time, but I definitely can see myself picking up a few more of this figure. I really love the design of this guy. Got some really nice sculpted texture in the fabric elements of the costume as well. The plates on the back of the hands, very Imperial Stormtrooper in their appearance as well. Just such a hybrid of different looks. I absolutely love this trooper. And if I don't stop saying good things about it now, then I probably never will. But yeah, definitely a great addition to the First Order ranks. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at this figure. I know I've enjoyed sharing him with you. Absolutely fantastic release, and kudos to Hasbro for putting this one out and giving collectors who haven't had a chance to visit Galaxy's Edge yet, like myself, a chance at some of these figures, because as I mentioned, Hondo Anaka, DJ Rex, the Mountain Trooper, all fantastic figures, and I can't recommend them enough. So that is going to do it for this review on the Mountain Trooper from Galaxy's Edge. Another fine addition to the Black Series line. And again, really hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this guy. I'll be back with some more reviews very soon. I've got some figures on pre-order that I'm still waiting to come in the mail. I'll give you a look at those once they arrive. I've got some vintage collection figures to give you a look at. Some more Black Series 6-inch stuff. So there's plenty to look forward to on the channel. And I hope you'll stay tuned for it all. So until my next review, thank you for tuning in, keep collecting, and as always, may the Force be with you.